Probably have some slip-ups. I'm human. We all make mistakes, but I'm going to try my best to stay and do exactly as he says.
Just as you have patients who want to get better, so do you have patients who don't feel the need to want to get better? And that's what Dr. Now hates the most. These are some of those moments where patients were the absolute worst. William Kiefer is 34 years old, and he weighs over 600 pounds. He wakes up every morning wondering how and why he allowed his body to get to the stage it currently is. Even his mother is fed up with the fact that he doesn't want to get any better. Can he be saved by Dr. Now? Let's find out. His story starts off this way.
Could be better to stay in bed and play video games all day and just relax, kind of, just avoid the world. I move slower than I used to, but I still can get around pretty well.
That sounds like so much pain already. Williams is still able to get out of bed and have his bath by himself, which is good. The only issue now is that he feels so much pain anytime he stands for too long or puts all his weight on his feet.
Things are getting harder and worse a little by little every day. How fast I'm moving or how out of breath I get at times. Sometimes, like I said, it gets worse.
Thank goodness he does stay all by himself. Williams's mother comes to the house sometimes to assist him with some of his chores and food. Hopefully she can convince him to change his eating habits before things really start to get out of hand.
A drug, a coping mechanism, something like that.
All right, I want to make sure I make you enough.
All right.
When William wakes up in the morning, he's stressing about something and he's trying to use the food to make it go away. Oh my gosh, right now, William is so dishonest with himself about his eating habits.
Looks like we have another enabler on our hands. William's mother says that she feels bad because she always gives him what he wants to eat whenever he wants to eat it. But then again, it's not her fault per se. Williams is not always happy about his condition, and food is the only thing that gives him joy. So she does what she can to make him happy.
Step in and defend anybody, especially if they were smaller or not as athletic or not able to defend themselves. And then I would go home and eat. It was when I really first started noticing there's something not right here. There'd be days where I felt differently than I normally did for no reason.
Now, it's starting to make sense. Right from when Williams was little, he battled with depression. The sad part is, there was no one to talk to, and he would usually isolate him, which would in turn result in him shoving a lot of food down his stomach.
I even started looking at studying video game programming. But just as I was doing that, my marriage came to an end.
Willie, are you ready to go to the grocery store?
Yeah, I am.
What do you want? What are you going to get?
I don't know, probably some chicken, some...
If you ask me, I'd say it's way better that they split up then than for them to split up now. Williams is at a very critical point in his life, and he needs all the support and help he can get. If his wife were to still be with him, and she decided to divorce him while on his journey, that would be devastating.
Solving it, they just kind of got rid of the people that were having the issue. They just kind of got rid of me. And then I moved out of my hotel room, and that's when the depression started to creep up on me. Because even when it's agreeable, it's divorce, it's rough, it's tough. It does take a toll mentally.
Looks like the divorce hit him more than he thought it would. Waleem's turned to junk food and a bad eating habit after he split with his ex-wife. It was like the only companion aside from food left him, and he went straight back to eat badly.
And it is heartbreaking to know that you can't help your son. William, I'm not going up the stairs. I'm going to leave the bags at the bottom of the stairs.
There's no lie about that. His mother could not have said it any better. Williams really needs to start to understand that he is the only one who can help himself heal and start to get better. Time is not on his side health-wise, and he needs to realize this as soon as possible.
And I know that how I'm living right now can't go on for much longer. If I don't change, my heart is going to keep getting worse until it gives out. But I'm also not ready to give up food. When I feel really down and depressed, and I'll go through a gallon of ice cream in a day if I feel that down and depressed.
Believe me when I tell you that William's journey is not going to be an easy one. He knows he needs help and wants to get help, but he is also not ready to give up food, because that's the only thing that makes him happy. Whew, talk about being at a crossroads with yourself.
Right now, he's a prisoner in his own body. This weight has the chains wrapped around him so tight, he has no freedom. It's just time for William to do something to help William and to love himself again.
So today I'm going to see Dr. Now so I can get my life back on track.
That right there is every patient's nightmare, having to stand on the scale and actually see what they weigh. Well, there's no escaping it now. Williams is heading to Texas to see the doc. I love that he has finally realized he needs to start working on himself.
I've been dieting already for the past few. I'm really hoping that my hard work paid off and that I'm under 600.
You did lose some weight.
I didn't realize I lost that much.
If you'll go down the hallway to the left, room 5, I'll let the doctor know you're ready.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
That's pretty impressive. I honestly thought he would weigh more than 600 pounds. Looks like his dieting before seeing the doc paid off after all. He has faced one fear. Now it's time for him to face the next one. Let's see what the doc has to say.
I'm not telling the whole story. I'm finding out when he buys groceries, he's buying things like frozen burritos, frozen hot wings, ice cream, chips, sodas.
So he leave those out for me.
No, I haven't actually bought any of that stuff.
I just love Williams's mom. She's not hiding anything from the doc. Even when Williams isn't being completely honest, she tells the doc everything. It's good that she also wants to help her son with his weight loss journey by losing weight too.
You know, you need to lose a lot of weight real quick.
Yeah.
And the weight you lose, then this is going to go down.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I see that as...
Phew. That's a lot Williams has to do. I wasn't sure the doc was going to stop listing things he wants Williams to do. It seems like Williams has a lot on his plate and, most importantly, some serious improvements to make. Is he really up to the task?
It feels good to get outside my apartment, but I get winded pretty quickly. Working out makes me more positive. It makes me feel better about myself. I feel really good right now. It's kind of an improvement from what I've been walking, so
Williams is actually doing much better than I thought he would. He has been going out more and doing some pretty good workouts. The only problem now is when he does so much work walking, he gets very hungry, and that makes him eat more food than he should.
William?
How are you doing?
How are you?
Doing good. Losing 70 pounds is a lot, but hopefully I lost most of that, and I'll be down in the low 500s.
Phew, that's not good at all. Williams lost just 12 pounds in the span of 2 months. His initial goal was to lose 70 pounds, and sadly, he didn't meet the mark. We all know Dr. Now is not going to be proud of his progress, but let's see what Dr. Now has to say.
People, how long do you think your heart can carry this?
I know.
You want your mother to bury you, is that it?
No.
Williams has somehow made everyone pissed. What's even more painful is that his mother is hurt because he just doesn't want to do what it takes to get to his goal. Believe me, it can be quite frustrating when you're trying to help someone and they don't appreciate your efforts.
You can say whatever you want. The scale doesn't lie.
And I didn't say it did, but like I just said.
So, you know, you keep repeating, I made it.
Well, that's just going to be that. Dr. Now is disappointed with his progress. This time around, he gives Williams the same task, and if it turns out that he doesn't lose any weight, he should not bother coming back to the hospital. There's no room to fool around anymore.
But I'm going to tell you, Dr. Now's giving you a goal to meet. And that needs to be what you concentrate on, is this is my goal.
At this point, we can all agree that his biggest fan is his mother. Regardless of his failures to meet his mark for his weight loss surgery, she still encourages him and tells him that things are going to get better. What a sweet woman.
Because I've been trying harder, but I have no idea what my loss is going to be.
William?
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good.
Hi.
At my last appointment, I was 5'80", and I was supposed to lose 70 pounds.
How is that even possible? Williams lost only 6 pounds? I can't even seem to understand what's going on. He did put in the work, and yet he still fails to meet the mark for his surgery. Man, could this be the end of the line for him?
I would say with that weight gain that I seen today on the scale, that scale is kind of an eye-opener today with that weight gain.
There's no way you're putting in 1,200 calories. You're at least 5,000 calories a day, at least.
Their faces say it all. Everyone is tired of the fact that Williams doesn't want to do what's needed to lose weight. Dr. Now tells him that there's really nothing he can do anymore because he doesn't want to work with anyone to lose weight. Looks like this is his final bus stop after all.
Because he still continued to just playing games and lying. So we can see going to therapy can help start breaking through to him. Because nothing anybody else has done has gotten him to wake up. But he's one of the cases that is more likely.
Margaret is just 35 years old and she already weighs over 700 pounds. She honestly can't do anything with herself. If her mother is not by her side all the time, she is practically useless. She cries every day because of how bad her weight has gotten. Is this her wake-up call? Let's find out together. She starts her story like this.
Has created a very dire situation for her. And she can barely stand up from her bed to bedside commode. When she fell, she was short of breath, and she and her mom were worried she was having a heart attack.
Men, I'm not even going to deny it. I am scared for Margaret. It looks like her case may be one of the worst that Dr. Now has ever seen. She fell down the stairs and had to be rushed to the hospital. Given the fact that she can't walk, Dr. Now is scared that she might be living her final days.
Was 6 months ago.
Who take care of you at home?
My mom.
So your mom has any weight problem?
She had the gastric bypass.
So she had gastric bypass. Why is she providing you too much food and keep you at this weight?
Looks like Margaret is the problem after all. She tells the doc that anytime her mother doesn't give her what she wants, she fights her mom and says mean things to her. The sad part is that Margaret knows the food is killing her and she might die, but still doesn't stop eating.
For her to eat as much as she wants and get her weight up to 750 pounds. So this is a very pathological situation, and I don't see any motivation. I don't see any goal for Margaret, but I'm ready to give her all the tools she needs to change her life and try to lose some weight.
Wow, I have never seen someone whose BMI is high. Like Dr. Now said, 129 is very high and dangerous, especially when she can't move around. He tells her that he can help with a controlled diet while she's in the hospital, but she is on her own when she gets home.
Your frequency, amount, and type of food. But she doesn't have any time for playing games, because if she doesn't change her situation soon, then her time is gonna run out.
It's heartbreaking to see her in such a condition. She really does want to get better, and that's a good sign. It's not going to be an easy task, but I think she's finally ready to put in the work that needs to be done. Hopefully she can pull through.
Well, want to see you in the office and get your weight. I expected that you lose 100 pounds in 3 months.
In
All
3
right?
months? Okay.
Yeah. If you continue to lose weight, then we can work with you and get you to the point that you're going to be able to hopefully have weight loss surgery.
Looks like her mother is going to keep a pretty tight leash on Margaret. The doc wants her to lose 100 pounds in 3 months, and her mom is ready to make sure that happens. Well, it's easier said than done, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's been a week since I've come home from the hospital, and since then I've been trying to eat like Dr. Now says, and to do the exercises he wants. But ever since then, I've been really scared of falling like I did before, because my legs have such a hard time supporting all my weight.
Margaret's mom sure seems to be taking really good care of her. It's always so amazing to see that these patients have people who want to take care of them and also want them to get better. I really wonder how Margaret became this fat.
Dad was very controlling, and if he said, you'd be right here, she had to be right there. That's how he was.
You want to hide your feelings away from him, because if you argued with him, then he would call us names and just be very mean.
120 pounds at the age of 6? My goodness. I'd have to eat at least 20 times a day to weigh that much at a young age. Well, we can't particularly blame her. She says that her father was very strict, and the only way she could cope with it was to eat everything, including his meals.
My dad would make my mom leave us and go with him.
He demanded that I had to be at the hospital with him every time he went. I had to go with him to the doctors. He had to go to Dallas.
10 eggs in a row? Oh, that has to be the worst grandma on planet Earth. That explains why Margaret called her the Wicked Witch. If you can do that to your grandchild, best believe that she can do anything to anyone. It's no longer shocking why her father was the way he was.
It was hard for me to drive or do things for myself. I went on disability. My dad became more abusive. After that, my mom reached a point of no return. So she packed her stuff and left with my older sister, Tiffany.
One moment, you think it can't get any worse, and then boom, she says something that shatters your heart. Margaret's life has been filled with so much chaos and drama right from when she was a child. Now we totally understand why food became her best friend and escape.
One of them days?
My mom woke me up this morning and I hurt in the leg.
All right, get your bearings together. I'm gonna fix me a cup of coffee. I'll be in here to get you up.
Every day is a new struggle.
Things don't seem to be going very well at home. Margaret's mother says that Margaret is being difficult with the whole process, and she quits almost every week. The physiotherapists are at the house to help her with some exercise. Let's hope they can make some progress.
You already have it here.
Yeah, I know, but they keep pushing on you, and they keep pushing on me. I think I'm
not finished today. I told you I'd reschedule.
This is not good at all. Margaret and her mother got into a fight because Margaret says she's not ready to see the physiotherapist, and that's just making her mother get very angry. Does Margaret really have what it takes to do this?
I got you.
I'm done.
I just want you to walk one more time and then back.
I'm done. This is where you get me right now.
Get over this. I feel sorry for Margaret.
Mom, shut the hell up.
I'm not.
Margaret is really getting on her mom's nerves. Margaret sent the physiotherapists away, and her mother decided she'd help her out with moving around the house. So far, it just seems like Margaret doesn't even want to do anything anymore, and that's what's upsetting her mother.
Come right here. Ready? 1, 2.
Now let go of Mom.
It keeps going like this.
Don't move, okay? Don't move. Your weight is 632.
She's lost 100 pounds.
Finally, those are tears of joy. After so much back and forth, Margaret has finally been able to lose 100 pounds. Even you can't deny that it's not been an easy journey for her. She has cried her eyes out and finally gotten a good result. Let's see what the doc is going to say.
Don't think that you have made it and relax and go back to eating calories.
No.
Okay.
We want to be.
I'm not going back.
We want to be down to.
That's amazing. Margaret is so lucky to have a mother like the one she has. If not for her mom, who constantly made sure she put in the work, things could have turned out far worse than they wanted. Good teamwork is what I'd call it. If she keeps this up for a month, she's going to get her surgery done.
Oh, don't dump me out.
I'm not gonna dump you out. I just got you through the door.
All right. She's got to give me a second.
Once you get up there, you gotta let go of it.
Come on, hurry, calculate. Hurry. Come on.
Your weight is 626.
I didn't lose enough.
Well, we're still doing good.
It's fine. I don't know what happened or how that's right.
Looks like we spoke too soon. It's been over a month now, and Margaret has lost only 5 pounds. Even her mom is tired at this point. You can see it written all over her face. It's almost as if she wants to give up, but she can't. Phew, and somehow it looked like things were going great.
I want you to lose 35 pounds by next month and start seeing psychotherapy. If not, then we are not moving ahead with you.
Just because we did not lose it, Margaret, does not mean we can't.
I
do
want
it
to
again.
go home.
I guess this is her final and only chance to get better. Dr. Now has set his mind, and it's all left to her now to either lose weight or continue to suffer with her pains. I'm pretty sure she knows what to do this time. With the support that her mom gives her, she can do it.
That's my foot. At my last appointment, I was 626, and I was supposed to lose 35 pounds in a month. So if I did that, the number I need to see is 591. I'm on it. Okay, get it off.
Finally, I was starting to think that Margaret was never going to make it to the mark. She's proved everyone wrong and has finally lost 125 pounds. It took some serious guts to do what she did, and I am happy she finally made the cut. Let's see if she gets approved for surgery.
At least we're on the right track now. We just need to keep pushing and go harder. And the most important thing is that you both started psychotherapy. So I'm proud of both of you for that.
Okay, thank you.
Shauna is a 22-year-old lady who weighs over 600 pounds. Yes, you did not hear wrong. Everything scares her. From the moment she wakes up in the morning to the moment she goes to bed. She is in constant fear that her body is going to give up on her someday. Will she be able to achieve her weight loss goal? Well, here is how her journey begins.
Because I live with her, but she travels most of the year. So Derekus is there to help me do a lot while she's gone. But I don't want him to ever have to help me with this, or ask anyone to do that. But it's already almost too hard for me to do all the time. So sometimes I think about just not doing it.
That is honestly just sad. Shauna hates everything about herself. She has so many sores on her body, and it's very difficult for her to scrub those places because of her size. Wow, how did she allow herself to get this big? That's crazy.
My legs and my feet disgust me the most about my body. They don't even seem human anymore. None of me does. So I don't even want to look at myself at all anymore, because I'm embarrassed at what I've done to myself in my life. I'm 22 years old. I should be like in college.
The food is always there, but the body tends to always give up in the long run. Shauna is starting to understand this the hard way. She feels sad because her friends and mates are having so much fun in college, and she can't do that because she let food get the best of her life and body.
Did you eat?
No. Can you get me some burritos?
Okay.
And hash browns?
Okay. How many do you want?
4.
Okay.
4 burritos.
4 burritos and what?
6 hash browns.
Even her friend can't seem to get her to eat in controlled amounts. He says that anytime he gives her food in controlled potions, she is never satisfied with the food. He never wants to see her sad or unhappy, so he just gives her whatever she wants to eat. Very unhealthy decision, if you ask me.
And once I'm eating, I won't think about things that are sad.
How can I help?
Can I please have a large stuffed crust pepperoni pizza? The cinnamon bites thing.
There is no way she just ordered a large size of pizza after just eating 6 burritos. Is she being for real? How does she expect to lose weight if she eats like the world is coming to an end? Jeez, she needs to be on a leash. A diet is not going to solve her problem.
He wasn't easy to get along with, and I should have walked away years before, but we stayed together for a while.
My mom never really knew how bad things were between me and my dad. She knew some of it, but...
In a way, that kind of explains why she turned to food as her comfort. Her childhood is a very rough one. Her dad was very abusive, and the only way she could console herself from all his yelling was to eat anything she could find. Does food really solve anything?
Perspective was that I had food as my friend, so I didn't need anyone or anything else. So my weight gain continued and got even worse when I was a teenager. By the time I was in high school, I was already around 400 pounds. I just non-stopped ate. I didn't care.
She dropped out of school? Damn. Seems like her childhood really did a number on her. Crazy thing is, she dropped out of school at the age of 16. What more could go wrong at this point? At least she had her mom for emotional support. Imagine if her mom was not around. Who knows what would have happened?
So things got really bad and I just shut off and was in this downward spiral until my mom came and got me.
After about a month of me not being able to contact her consistently without him interfering, I finally went up there.
First she had a horrible father, and now a boyfriend that was an addict? Oh my goodness. It's almost like the forces of evil in the world were against Shauna and her mother. I'm happy she was able to leave her ex-boyfriend and her mom was able to leave her dad. Except the result was that Shauna now weighs over 600 pounds.
Oh, I miss you so much. Good?
So what's new?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's really beautiful to see Shauna and her mother get along so well, but her mom is worried sick about her daughter. She feels like if she does not cut down her eating habits, she might end up dead someday, and that would be the most heartbreaking thing for her. She needs to meet up with Dr. Now as soon as possible.
So if this truck isn't big enough, I'm not sure what my options are going to be to get to Houston and do this.
Yay! She was able to fit into the truck. To be honest, I wasn't sure she would be able to sit properly in the truck. She proved me wrong. Her weight loss journey seems to kick off on a pretty good note. Could I be wrong again? Let's leave that for Dr. Now to decide.
I'm scared.
Shauna?
But I don't know what he's gonna say. So I'm just really afraid right now of what's gonna happen. I just hope it's good and I get a chance, because I don't know what I weigh anymore.
That's not good at all. She weighs over 600 pounds. One thing I know is that Dr. Now is going to be hard on her. If she really wants to cut down all this weight and come back to her dream body, she has to put in the work.
Or depressed or something.
Okay, so use food to cope. So, Shauna, you need to learn how you're going to correct your eating habit, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to start with the 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet.
Haha. With that look, there is no way Shauna is going to meet that goal. The moment Dr. Now said that she has to lose 80 pounds in 2 months without snacking, she felt like she was about to go through her worst nightmare. If she wants to get there, she has to put in the work.
What I want to do is keep doing the diet I am now and make it enough. So I'm trying the hardest I can, but it's just not easy. It's been 2 months since my Dr. Now appointment, and I was supposed to be back for another one sometime last week, but I was too scared to go.
What? She can't find the papers with instructions on how to diet that Dr. Now gave her? She can't be serious. It's pretty obvious that she's being lazy with the whole thing. Pretty much explains why she is scared to talk to Dr. Now. He would be so disappointed in her.
If I called back and said I lost them?
Why should he get mad at you because you lost them?
I don't know, I just thought you'd get mad.
Well, if you didn't have the diet, then you didn't know what to do. So I'm guessing you wasted 2 months of time.
Oh, she had this coming. She finally decided to summon the courage to call Dr. Now, and he did not spare her one bit. But can you really blame him? She wasted 3 months and has still not been able to cut down any weight.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And who is the partner with you?
My cousin Derrickis.
Nice to meet you. All right, Shauna, it's 3 months later.
I'm as mad as Dr. Now is right now. She lost the papers again? What exactly does she want this time around? Let's not forget the fact that she still did not meet her target weight even after an extra month was given to her. If I were Dr. Now, I would give up on her for real.
And it doesn't seem to matter to you. You're in the world that doesn't exist. And you got like a cocoon around yourself, and you're not seeing the reality of what's going on, and you depend on everybody else to make those changes for you.
He isn't wrong, to be honest. It's her life, and no one is going to help her lose all this weight except herself. If she really wants to get it going, she better drop that lazy attitude and start to eat healthy.
So I'm hoping that I finally lost some weight and did it this time.
Shauna?
At my last weigh-in, I was 658, and the goal I have now from Dr. Now is to lose 50 pounds. So my weight number needs to be down to 608 to be at my goal.
Surprising. Honestly, I am speechless. She was able to eventually lose some weight. I'm impressed. I mean, it's not the weight Dr. Now wanted her to lose, but she was able to cut down a little. Let's see what the doc has to say.
Finally did, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you later.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see Shauna had some weight loss in this time, and that she's moved down here to Houston.
And there you have it. The doc is proud that she was able to cut down some of her weight, but sadly, she still did not make it to her goal. Looks like she still needs to put in work before he approves for surgery. Wow. He did recommend that she see a therapist. Let's see how that's going.
Oh, when I was born, yes. Until I was 4.
Do you know what pulled your parents apart?
My dad's abusiveness.
Okay.
And him and her just not getting along.
Do you know if he was abusive to you?
Oh, he was. Really mental abusive and physically sometimes.
Every day of my life is a hard reminder of how bad I've let myself and my body get. Because my weight has reached a point where I struggle to do every single thing I need. And I'm disappointed because I let myself get like this.
I'm sure you can see why I said you honestly do not want to walk in Tommy's shoes. His life is like a living nightmare. He hates himself and his body because he can no longer step out and do regular things like regular people. Ugh, that must really suck.
I went online and bought like 15 pair of grip socks. I even wear them in the shower just so it gives me that better chance of not slipping and falling.
Wow, just wow. Tommy can't even find the strength to clean himself up every morning. He says that his finance is the one who does almost everything in the house. He is honestly lucky. He has someone by his side who wants to go through this journey with him.
Fast as I can before I'm out of too much stamina, because I have to try not to wear myself out so much I can't get out this shower. But it does take a lot out of me. I start to really need my oxygen because of how hard it gets for me to breathe doing all this. At that point, all I want to do is eat.
Does he like himself at all? Did he just say food is all he lives for? Oh, he is lucky I'm not his fiance. I would starve his ass till he is ready to shed some weight. Man, can't even stand for straight 30 minutes without feeling like he is going to pass out. I mean, how do you consume 10 sandwiches in a day? Jeez.
Because it's hard to be happy once I'm done. If I'm eating and I still want to eat, I'm going to eat. And I want to be joyful for a few minutes, but I know when it's over with, I'm going to...
I don't know, man. Tommy has got to be the most delusional man on the planet. He says that food doesn't judge him, and that's why he keeps eating and doesn't care about anything else. At least he knows he's a food addict. I doubt he's going to be able to cut down some of his weight.
My father was alcoholic. He meant well. But him and my mom did fight quite a bit. And most of that was because he drank. And because of all that...
Now that explains a lot. Tommy says that he grew up in a very chaotic environment. His dad was always drunk and would constantly get into fights with his mom. This made him run to food as his safe space. Sadly, his dad passed away and things just tipped over the scale.
Mom got remarried when I was 13. I didn't trust my new stepfather before I started high school. I found out my weight was over 400 pounds then. I tried to eat less and slow things down, but it never worked.
What? He was already over 500 pounds at the end of high school? Oh my goodness. Couldn't his mom take care of him, or at least keep a leash on his eating? Damn. He even says that he eventually had to drop out because of his weight. I really don't know how people allow themselves to become this big.
But a few years ago, it got to a point where all her kids were grown up, and they didn't need to be watched anymore. I was lonely, so I put up a page on a dating site when I was 31. And not too long after that, I met Amanda. And I was surprised because I wasn't expecting to meet anybody, really.
Seems like his fiancée has a thing for being with men who are extremely fat. She says that her previous partner weighed over 700 pounds, and sadly, he lost his life to obesity. Let's hope that the same thing doesn't happen to Tommy. If he doesn't stop his unhealthy eating habit, things could go the wrong way pretty quickly.
And I committed to her to lose the weight, so I can give her a proper wedding. She wants to be able to walk down the aisle. But that was years ago I made that commitment to her, and I still haven't fulfilled it. I feel like a burden. I don't feel like a man.
Well, he better wake up from his dream. He is not going to be able to give his fiancée the life he promised her if he doesn't start to work on his weight. How can his life revolve around just sitting down in bed and eating? That is just disgusting, if we are being honest. Wouldn't wish that on my enemies for real.
All the things that could go wrong, but at least we have some help. Because Amanda's mom, Sharon, says she helped drive us. And Amanda's already stayed up late packing most everything. So we just have to get it in Sharon's car and then we'll go.
That is just insane. His fiancée reached out to Dr. Now's hospital and they were able to book Tommy an appointment. His fear now is that he might not be able to fit into the car, and even if he does, he isn't sure he would survive the journey to see Dr. Now. Imagine that.
Well, if I can get some food or snacks, I know that will help me handle this. Can we get something to eat before we get going, please?
Yeah, I can go in and order from
Amanda, we're going to sit in the car and you go see.
Of course he wants to eat. If you ask me, I honestly doubt Tommy is going to make it to the end of his weight loss journey. Every second he wants to snack down on something. The journey hasn't even started as he is already eating. Wow, I am speechless.
And rest so I can get my stamina back up and try again tomorrow, because I have to make it to my appointment tomorrow. And I hope Dr. Now takes me on this program so I can get the help I need, because without it, I don't know what chance I have left to change my life. We made it to Houston, but this has been a really long trip.
Well, at least he made it to the hospital. Tommy is really hoping that Dr. Now accepts him and is willing to help him work on his weight loss journey. I hope he's ready, because Dr. Now does not joke with his patients. If you aren't up for it, he's going to send you away.
Not draining or anything anymore, but my stomach still...
You still having rash on the stomach? You got a lot of scar tissue and really bad rash. I give you some antifungal.
He heard the doctor. Dr. Now gives him 2 months to cut down on some of his weight before he agrees to put him up for his surgery. The ball is in Tommy's court now. If he can't get himself to cut down some weight, he might as well just forget about his dream to give his fiancée the life she wants.
You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we can do to get you to eat better and wake you up to lose some weight?
I guess I'm going to try harder. Just stick time to it.
Whatever you're eating right now is too much.
Ha ha ha. Oh, she did not just say that. Tommy failed to meet the target for his surgery, and so Dr. Now gives him some scolding. Of course, he doesn't leave out Tommy's fiancée because, if we're being honest, she has a major role to play in Tommy's journey, and from the look of things, she also needs to lose some weight.
Even your level of activity.
No, she's not.
So you need to work on that. You're tired or you have no motivation or what?
No, it's not really tired. It's just in pain.
Pain?
Yes.
Where's your pain?
My knees, my hips, and my back.
Splendid, wouldn't you say? That has got to be the best thing Tommy has heard in months. After kicking it back and forth with his weight, Dr. Now agrees to set him up for surgery a month from today. Seems like he's on track with his weight loss journey.
Until he gets close to his target weight. But this surgery isn't a magic fix. And if Tommy has an emotional or pathological issue that drive him to eat, he's not going to have the food comfort, and that may be...
Even I have got to say I am proud of Tommy. He had a successful surgery and things seem pretty good. Dr. Now says that he still has so much to do to work on himself and is going to need the assistance of a therapist to help him pull through.
Since it's food, and all of those can be very detrimental to a person's overall well-being. So I want you to think of this as a brand new opportunity to have a conversation with your mom, because there's no way you can carry such a secret.
Ouch. Looks like Tommy has been bottling down a lot. That explains why it was really difficult to stop being a food addict. Even from a young age, he has had so much to face. It's good to see that he is willing to do really good for him and his fiancée.
Then there's no reason for you to keep it any longer.
I was scared to tell you.
I'm glad you told me. I wish you could have told me sooner, because maybe I could have supported you in a different way or encouraged you in a different way.
In this episode, Brienne got pregnant at over 700 pounds, and no one even knew that was possible. To save her baby, she needs to lose weight, but it is not as straightforward as you would expect. Right now, she does not yet know she might be pregnant. This was the beginning of her story.
My mom will be here any minute, but the last time I saw her, I was in the upper 400s, so I'm nervous about how she's going to react at how big I am now.
Brienne? Mama. How you doing? All that weight is crushing your insides.
Brienne, you're 30 years old and over 700 pounds.
As you would expect, Dr. Now told her she needed to meet a certain weight requirement before he agreed to have surgery done to remove the excess fat. She needed to lose over 120 pounds of excess fat in a couple of months, and for Brienne, it wasn't easy at all.
Hi, Brienne. How are you?
Hang on a second. I'm getting back.
We should take her to the hospital. After running some tests, we were able to determine that Brienne currently is suffering from some food poisoning.
Well, guess what? She was approved, and in no time, she was in the surgery room having her surgery done. Dr. Now was proud of the fact that she wasn't just saying she wanted to lose weight. She put in the work, and the results came out quite fantastic.
So, what was childhood like for you?
I just felt like my dad called me fat names.
Where was your mom when this was happening?
She'd be like, Brienne, you were wrong. You should not be talking back. Or
basically saying that she's choosing him over you. I think learning to stick up for yourself a little bit might be really helpful. Talking to your mom is probably a big step.
After her surgery and all the effort she had put into the process, she lost over 350 pounds of her excess weight when she checked her current weight at her new appointment with doctor. Now, she couldn't believe her eyes. It was like a miracle had taken place.
Holy.
You lost almost 350 pounds at this point. Here we go. Once you figure out someone to help you with your recovery, then we'll move ahead with your first intestine removal from around your stomach.
Even after getting rid of so much weight and having a successful surgery, things didn't particularly go as planned. A few weeks after her surgery, she noticed that she started having severe pains in her stomach.
I'm not doing well. A couple days ago, I started having these really bad stomach pains. Then I had some bleeding, and it got so bad that I had to go to the hospital. I was supposed to be having my skin removal surgery about now, but that's changed because after they ran some tests.
Brienne wasn't as focused on her weight loss journey as she used to be. Her current situation of having to think that she was pregnant and might have lost the baby was not allowing her to give the weight loss process all the attention it needed.
You had the pregnancy test that was positive, and you had the bleeding. You may lost the pregnancy, but you may not, because you can still be pregnant and have a period too, okay? So in order to determine, we're gonna have to look at your level of the pregnancy test for the next week or two, okay?
Dr. Now wasn't going to ignore the fact that she had been slacking in her weight loss journey. He understood that she was in a very tight spot, but he didn't want her to go back to eating a lot, so the entire surgery process wouldn't be in vain, regardless of whether she was pregnant or not.
I know it's hard right now, but you can't take your focus off of getting healthy. And even if you turn out to be pregnant, you still can lose weight, okay, in the first few months. So the plan will be that we're going to do tests every week and see which way we're going. If the tests are going up, then you have...
Well, it wasn't particularly bad news after all. It was still too early to determine if she was pregnant, and there were no signs that she had lost the baby. Dr. Now wanted her to keep focusing on losing her weight and not worry about getting pregnant.
See, wasn't a possibility for her. So she's moving in the right direction. She just needs to pick up the pace with her weight loss. And the big question now is whether she's pregnant or not. But once we fully determine that, we can figure out the next step for her as long as she stayed on track.
Unlike Tommy's situation in the previous case, Megan doesn't find it too difficult to get up from her bed. But every time she wakes up, she feels like it's going to be her last day on Earth. She's grown so fat that she thinks her body is finally ready to give up on her. Will she make it through her weight loss journey? Well, here is how her story begins.
Because with all the weight I have on me and the pain and aches it gives my whole body, I feel like I'm a prisoner in my own body, to the point where I have to live with my mom because I'm too big to even take care of myself on my own.
Trying to imagine the pain she feels every morning when she wakes up is almost impossible. Megan had to move in with her mom just so someone could help her do the basic things she should be able to do on her own. That's sad for real.
After I get dressed, it's the first thing I want to do every single day. My mom makes me breakfast and I can't wait for it.
Let's just say her major problem is her mom. Megan's mom knows that her eating habit is bad, but she just doesn't want her daughter to feel bad. Sadly, the only thing that gives Megan some form of happiness is the same thing that's killing her: food.
On days when I feel up to it, I go to the grocery store with my mom. And it's really the only thing I ever go out for anymore. And it's like Christmas Day for me. Being around all that food and all those options, being in public is something I dread because of how people look at me.
She can drive herself? That's surprising. For a second there, I wasn't sure she would fit into the car. She says that the only reason she goes out is to pick up some groceries and get some food. Wow.
It's the best place in the world to me. But we can't afford that, so I have to be selective.
When we go grocery shopping, Megan will get upset with me. You know, I'm trying to get her healthier snacks.
How do you eat so much and still have the craving to eat sweet things? Does she know that it's unhealthy? Working around is already like the hardest thing for her to do. The least she can do is at least cut down on the sweet things she eats. Jeez, it almost feels like she doesn't want to be better.
Emily and Ashley was mean to Megan because she had a different father than them. Want Megan to be in the picture.
Things just got worse between me and my sisters as I got older.
What did she just say? She was already weighing 250 pounds at the age of 10? Yo, I wasn't even weighing 100 pounds at that age. Why do parents always allow their kids to eat so much knowing it can become very addictive? It makes no sense for real.
And I hated school. I never wanted to go because of that. It was like there was nowhere safe I could go anymore, except to food. And when I was 17, it got to be where I couldn't take it. So I just wanted to leave to be with my dad after that. And I asked him if I could come live with him, and he said I could. So I moved out of my mom's house and into his.
Already 600 pounds? Wow, looks like the mom wasn't particularly the problem. Megan felt the comfort of her dad because he always allowed her to eat whatever she wanted. The moment her mom put some restrictions on her eating, she went straight to her dad. Now look how that turned out for her.
And eventually, I realized I had to stop. And I called my mom and asked her if I could move back with her. And she said I could.
She did not just say that. 9 medications a day is crazy. How can someone be on 9 medications a day due to excessive food intake and is still eating like she's going to lose her life if she doesn't eat? Unbelievable. In Megan's world, food is everything.
Me getting in and out of the car a lot because it wears me out really easily. So my weight has just about taken everything from me. The only thing left is for it to completely take my health.
Girl, the only miracle that's going to happen is if you get yourself to the gym or you stop eating like you steal the food. Hearing this, one would honestly think she has already given up and is ready for whatever might happen.
But we don't know how long it'll take us or how I'll handle the drive because I've never really done a drive like this. And at my current weight, I'm just not sure how it's gonna go.
She is right about that though. She's scared about the trip she's about to make heading to Dr. Now's hospital. But if we're being honest, the stress from the trip is way better than not doing anything at all.
Now says he can't help, it will be like, I know he wants to help people who are my size, but you never can know what issues there could be or reasons he can't help me, so it's just my biggest fear.
And there she goes again, wanting to eat. Doesn't she get tired of food constantly going down her throat? Well, to be over 600 pounds, I don't think she sees it as a problem. Let's hope she makes her trip to see the doctor.
So if I don't get help today, there will be no options or anything I can do to stop what's gonna happen.
Megan?
And the only thing me and my mom will be able to do is go back home and just wait for me to die.
Wow. With all that eating, and she's just a little over 600 pounds, I'm actually impressed. But one thing I know for certain is that cutting down that weight is going to be difficult for Megan. She loves food so much that it's impossible to see her losing any of her weight. Let's hear what the doctor has to say.
It's two, because it can be very hard for one person in the household to eat properly and the other person.
Oh, I plan on eating with her like she needs to eat.
We were all expecting to hear that. Dr. Now tells her that she needs to lose at least 80 pounds of weight in 2 months before he considers her for surgery. The big question now is whether Megan is up to the task. We all know she loves food.
And that I should be at my goal today, but I don't know what the scale's gonna show. And that's the only thing I'm nervous about, because there's more distance between my stomach and the steering wheel now.
And boom. She did not meet her target, but we've got to hand it to her. She managed to shred some of her weight, but just wasn't able to meet her target for surgery. She needs to apply more pressure if she really wants Dr. Now to consider her for surgery.
Follow it.
I still have it, and I read it.
How much of did you read?
I've read it.
She read partially? That's honestly disgusting to hear. I mean, Dr. Now gave her everything she needed to cut down on her weight, and she decides to pick the one she feels she should. It's really annoying because she knows better than to skip anything.
I know how important it is for me to lose as much weight as I can, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes and work as hard as I can to show Dr.
Now look at Megan go. She really wants to get rid of the excess weight so she can meet her target weight. She registered at a gym, and it's really good to see that she's doing everything she needs to do to be better. Good one, Megan.
Now that you weigh, you understand that?
Okay, yes. I've also been walking.
So what else did you change?
A lot more. I take my dogs on walk.
That is just sad. Even with her going to the gym, she still hasn't met the cut for her weight loss journey. And what's even annoying is that it's her fault. She still eats the way she wants, and now she can't meet her goal. It's annoying if we're being honest.
The pizza's here.
Okay, go get it. I'm hungry.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Being apart from my dad is the only thing that's really hard for me. But I know if I don't go to Houston and get help.
And just like that, she's back with the same person who allows her to eat the way she wants. It honestly feels like she wants to give up on her weight loss journey. Her goal is to reduce the way she eats. But instead of that, she's eating like she's going to die if she doesn't. Jeez.
I'm doing well, so I'm not sure why I'm not losing more.
Okay, well, you know, my concern is, let's see, you are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Even Dr. Now can't hide the fact that her conditions are too much for her not to be losing any weight. He even says that Megan's health conditions usually occur in people over 50 years of age. Guess what? She's just 24. That's just sad, honestly.
And I just really wish I had more support from her right now. That stuff should never be around me. Instead of helping me...
Aha! So the problem isn't Megan. The problem is her mom, and it is disgusting to see what she's doing. Knowing that her daughter is on a weight loss journey, she keeps eating junk food and keeping it in places where Megan will see it. It's almost as if she doesn't want her to lose any weight. Ew.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, doctor.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Well, how are you getting along, Megan?
Good.
That has to be a big blow in the chest for Megan. The doctor gets her to run a few tests, and sadly, she is not healthy enough to have surgery done. I don't even know what to say. This is just sad. Will Megan ever be able to lose weight?
To a healthy place very soon. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I'll see you in the hospital.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Imagine being called the 3000 Dean Machine. Chad weighs over 600 pounds and feels like the biggest loser the world has ever seen. He is a husband and a father, but his family just treats him like an invalid. It is the worst spot to be, trust me. This is how his story begins.
My life is depressing. I need help with just about everything.
My wife has to take care of me and clean me because I can't do it by myself. It's humiliating.
A relationship's supposed to be about giving and taking. I just take this type of life. That's not a marriage.
That is indeed so humiliating. When he met his wife, Chad was around 500 pounds, and his weight wasn't really an issue. Her kids became his kids, and he provided for them. But soon, everything changed and took a turn for the absolute worst.
What today, boss? One day, I went to get up in the truck, and I made up to the top step, and being the size I am, my left leg gave. And I came out of the truck onto the ground. It was right there and then is why I knew driving was over. I still kept eating, even though that's the one that's taking everything from me.
That is a great insight into just how our man, Chad, got to that size. But the good thing is that he has decided to make a change by going to Houston to see Dr. Now. But before that, let's watch Chad go crazy on another plate of food on the same day.
I don't know why I can't stop.
And I feel like I'm worthless. There's a lot of days I wonder if this is a day where Aisha's had, what's her breaking point before she finally says, I can't do it no more.
This is not my Chad that I fell in love with.
That is such a painful thing for a parent to think about, but the fact is that it could very well happen if Chad does not get his act together. Now, they are selling all they have to move to Houston, and the packing process is not going so well. Here is how Aisha describes it.
But I have to try.
I got it, Clay.
I guess. Just leave it, please.
You can already start to hear the resentment in her voice. She really hates that she has to do this. And if this weight loss program does not work, it might be the end of her marriage to Chad. And why is he even so upset about not getting a second sandwich?
Her and my daughter.
And they okay with that, or?
They're not okay with it. The problem is if I don't get it, I become mean. Not mean, violent mean, but...
obnoxious.
Yes.
So you turn the whole family into enablers. If they don't feed you, they have to deal with you.
That is correct. So does he do it? The weight he needs to lose to get to the point where he can get his surgery? The answer is yes, he did. And despite all the craziness, he got approved for his surgery.
You lost 40 pounds exactly. Everyone did great.
Last time I came, you said I didn't qualify for the surgery at all.
Now there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So
I'll take it.
Chad done very well. He still has a long road ahead of him, but I believe he's mentally ready to start his journey now.
He has to be the happiest man in the world right now. I mean, all he has honestly wished and hoped for was to get approved for his surgery, but all that excitement was about to go down the drain. Apart from his surgery, Chad had a more pressing health issue that needed to be attended to.
The swelling that need to be addressed, particularly in the area of the hookup of the stomach to intestine where the bypass is. Room light off. This is a very serious situation preventing him from keeping food down. And I need to fix this immediately. As I expected, there is some narrowing.
Damn, that seemed like some serious surgery. Luckily for him, he came out alive. Apparently, he had been having difficulty with swallowing, and that prevented him from taking his medications. Luckily for him, Dr. Now came to the rescue. After the surgery, this was his new routine.
Honey, would you like some soup? All right, love you.
Aisha's sick today, so I'm trying to do everything. It's been years since I've taken care of the whole house. It's kind of nice to be able to do this and contribute the way I should. Since the doctor has fixed the swelling in my stomach,
my life is so miserable now because I've let my weight get so out of control that I'm barely functioning. And it's getting harder and worse every single day. And I know I'm very close to becoming bedridden. So at this point, I wish my life was just a nightmare.
The room is empty because Samantha lives by herself in a one-bedroom apartment. She can hardly do anything on her own, and making it to the bathroom is a chore by itself. She is at a point where it is almost impossible for her to fit through the doors. Unlike LaToya, Samantha has to do everything herself because she does not have someone on hand to care for her.
I've had to go from bathing every day to about every 4 days because I have to work so hard to do it. But even on days when I push myself to do it, some areas I can't even reach without using a stick or something. I have to reach and poke and prod at myself. So it's so hard.
Her biggest fear is that someday she will get to a point where she won't even be able to take care of herself anymore, and that she might just wither away and that would be the end. How does she even make her food or eat in this condition? Well, she makes do, as you can see.
I have food delivery set up on a schedule starting in the morning. I have to have it brought to me because walking up and down stairs, I'm too weak to do that now. And I'm scared to admit that just walking across the apartment to get the food is almost more than I can handle. But instead of thinking about that, I just think about the food I'm about to eat and how full.
That is the awful thing about this condition. The bigger people get, the more they reach out for food for comfort, and the more food they reach out to, the bigger they get. It is a never-ending cycle of pain.
Because more than anything else, it's the feeling of being full that I love. Food is just so good to me. Food can fill me up and make me feel the most comfort that I've ever felt. It makes me feel like I'm at home and that I'm safe as long as I'm full and happy, because food is a hug from the inside.
Samantha says that food has always been the most important thing in her life, and it is very easy to see why that is the case. Thankfully, Samantha has decided to do something with her life, and she has enlisted Doctor now to help her see how she can lose her excess weight. But first, she has to figure out how to get into Houston.
Which leg's coming first? There we go. Good. Come on. I'm sorry. Come on. Come on. One at a time. One more. Go.
You guys behind me have to get me.
Let's go.
These are scary.
That's all right. That's all right. We got you. We got you. Come on.
The firemen were extremely helpful, and she was able to get to the hospital on time. She stayed in the hospital for 6 weeks because she had so many health issues related to her weight. While she is in the hospital, Doctor now gets in contact with her through video call and checks on her.
No way you can survive. And it sounds like your body is already giving out. So this is a very bad situation, Sam.
I know.
You say that, but you're still eating whatever you want. And as much as you can. And pretty soon you're gonna hit 1,000 pounds, huh?
I hope not. Every pound that I hear that is added, I'm a realist, and I just assume that if I keep going, my heart's gonna stop and it's not gonna come back.
Unfortunately, Sam has no plans right now, but she has to see Doctor now, and she has to lose weight if she has any plans of living a long life and being there for her daughter. Thankfully, Doctor now has a plan for her, but it will not be easy. He sends her a 1,200 calorie diet plan and tells her that if she follows it, she ought to lose enough weight to be able to see him.
I'm 36 and I've gotten to this point. It's terrifying. Like I'm just really scared. Like I'm overwhelmed right now. It's gonna be a lot of things in your life. I don't know what I am without food. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize.
This isn't an easy process, and it's always scary to take the first steps to change like this.
It is 4 months later, and now Sam has been discharged from the hospital. She has only managed to lose 40 pounds. Things are still really hard for her, and she still needs a lot of help to move around.
Now with even how far I've come, I still hit my limit too quickly if I'm up. And then I have to have help if I don't want to end up on the floor and in pain. But we've made some big changes to make my life easy and to improve my living situation some. The biggest is that Bella helped me find a new apartment on the first floor and move my stuff into it, because trying to make it up a flight of stairs was killing me.
Sam is happy she is back from the hospital, but it means she is living on her own now, and she could start gaining much of the weight that she has lost. She says she has been following the diet, but sometimes it feels futile, and that is so easy to understand.
It's really hard to watch my mom like this.
It's so good it makes me want to cry.
Is it actually really that good?
It really is.
It breaks my heart seeing my mom just kind of lose mobility. I don't know how to describe my emotion today. I was excited for her to come home today, but I was also unsure because I feel like the best place for her right now is probably the hospital.
A month later, and now it is time for Sam to get her official weight check to see if she can get her surgery. She currently feels she has done enough to make that weight, as she has been starving herself to get there. Unfortunately, just after Samantha returned to the hospital for her weigh-in, a national quarantine in response to COVID was initiated. As a result, a gastric sleeve operation was done in a last-ditch effort to save her life.
We took a risk operating on you. However, I appreciate your confidence in us and me to have surgery.
Nobody would ever take a chance on me. I was always told I was too big.
Oh, no.
So thank you for looking at me and saying, okay, maybe she can do it. Because I did it, and here we are. Look at that. Of course.
As you can see, things are really looking up for Sam. Hopefully, she can keep the weight off. Let us see what she weighs now.
Before you go,
we're
gonna weigh in. Let me see, this is the best way. Oh, okay. It says 280.2, so this is in kilogram. I'm just gonna do a quick calculation. Oh my God, look, 616 pounds. Good job.
Yay!
Wow. Lupe is so fat that her fat literally almost choked her to death. That is right. She had to get a separate surgery to remove the excess fat from her neck so that she would not literally be strangled to death by her own flesh. Is there anything worse than living in fear of your own body? If there is, then it has to be the harrowing morning routine that Lupe goes through every morning.
Hey, time to get up. Get up now.
Being this overweight, everything I do is hard and it's a struggle. Things are so hard for me. I've lost motivation to do anything for myself.
And my body's starting to break down.
My weight is taking a toll on my heart, my kidneys, my liver, my legs. I'm in pain and I feel helpless, worthless.
Her weight has made her diabetic, and she has to take insulin shots in the morning. To make things worse, she has so much fat around her neck that it is literally suffocating her. She had to do a chin tuck before she got on My 600-Pound Life to solve that problem. But that is not her biggest problem.
It changed my entire life. So now my bed is my restroom, my place where I take a shower. Words can't explain how much I hate being in this bed. I need to be taken care of 24/7. Because I can't do anything for myself.
You feel bad?
Yeah. My husband, Gilbert, is my caretaker. He can't have a full-time job because he takes care of me all the time.
Can you imagine living like that? Lupe says she feels humiliated living this way. And who wouldn't? Having people take care of you, not because of some unfortunate disability, but because of obesity, is demoralizing in the worst ways. But despite this, Lupe cannot kick her unhealthy eating habits.
I lied to him and I told him I was like 200 pounds, but we got really close. And I told him, I'm gonna send you a picture of it. I understand if you never want to talk to me again.
Normally, I'm not attracted to big people. So when I saw the picture of Lupe, I was upset until she told me something that really hit me in the heart. She said that she was praying to God that he would send somebody to her that would be there for her, would take care of her, and be by her side. And I wanted to be that person for her.
Lupe is not blind to the fact that her eating habits are unhealthy, but she says food is her comfort, and she just has to have it. However, her husband needs her to lose weight so that he can have an actual relationship with her, and she needs to lose weight to avoid sudden death. So they go to speak to doctor. Now,
it's clear that Lupe is in very bad state. She's short of breath, she cannot walk, she cannot stand, she cannot move, she cannot breathe. But at her weight, any number of things could be creating a serious medical issue for her, and if we don't find it fast, it may be too late to save her.
wow, tough love, Dr. Now. But that is exactly what Lupe needs right about now. Tough love. Dr. Now says that Lupe has basically been killing herself, and her husband has been helping her to do that. But isn't that the case with everyone on 600-Pound Life?
At her size, she's been consuming at least 20 to 30,000 calories a day. So we need to get her health under control immediately and turn the situation around with her husband.
I'm feeling very scared for her because we're really close to her, you know? I don't believe that she would have lasted much longer if she was still there, just laying in the bed.
Lupe is in very bad shape.
Well, let us see if Lupe will actually make those changes, because they are not easy. Going from consuming 30,000 calories a day to subsisting on just 1,200 calories per day takes near superhuman strength. Does Lupe have that strength?
He wanted me to lose 50 pounds this past month. I'm just hoping I've done it, or that I'm at least close enough for him to approve me for surgery.
This situation may be comical, but it is literally life and death. The more strain she puts her heart under, the likelier it is she suffers some attack that puts an end to her journey.
So we're calling an emergency crew to help her get up immediately because she can easily go to cardiac arrest and there'll be nothing we can do about it. So they need to act fast.
How's it going, ma'am? Did you fall down?
You got stuck in the toilet.
I don't want to fall and hurt myself.
Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and get the fire truck out here, okay, and just to help us out.
Just get me off the toilet.
It is hard, but Lupe eventually does it. Now, let us see how much weight she has lost since she last saw Dr. Now.
All right. Everybody else hands off of it. That's 128 pounds you lost now. That's great. The first day she got here, she couldn't even stand. Now she's making progress. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you home today. And for the next 2 months, I want you to lose another 75 pounds. Take this seriously if you want to get approved for weight loss surgery, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Super. Thank you.
Great work, Lupe! But as Dr. Now says, she is not done yet. She has to go below the 500-pound mark if she wants to get that weight loss surgery. Interestingly, Dr. Now says that Lupe might have been able to lose all that weight because her husband was not with her. It is ironic that her caregiver might be the reason she even needs a caregiver, but it is possibly true.
After being in the clinic and having that fear that I'm about to see my weight and it's not going to be low enough, I realized how hard I need to be working for this. I still can't really walk, so I'm just moving as much as I possibly can in my bed. I feel like I made a lot of progress these past 2 months, but I started to fall away at the end.
Okay. Wait.
So I need to make up for that time in case it took me so off course.
Thankfully, Lupe was eventually approved for a gastric sleeve procedure after working hard at losing her weight. But there is another problem. She cannot walk on her own despite her massive weight loss.
Hey, Lupe, so let me just check and see how your leg is doing. The feeling down here is normal?
Yeah, when I stand up, I can feel like that right now.
Okay. But the fact that she's willing to try is a good sign. So we'll address this issue as you start losing some more weight, okay? And she stuck to her reduced diet, and she's still losing weight.
This was a roller coaster ride for Dr. Nauzaradan. The Asanti brothers had a love-hate kind of relationship. Justin was fed up with Steven's behavior. She felt his elder brother was not going to change, and there was no point in trying to save someone who didn't want to get better. Dr. Nauzaradan even referred to Steven's situation as one of the hardest and toughest he had ever come across in all of his life.
This looks really yummy.
His brother Justin is over 600 pounds, and he's also coming with him.
Steven's never gonna change.
Even before he was on the drugs, he was still a bad person.
So it sounds like we may be facing the hardest challenge.
Steven's father had reached out to several local hospitals, and all of them told him that his son's condition was one they couldn't handle. He wasn't only weighing over 600 pounds, but had a psychological disorder as well. After spending over 3 days on the road, they were finally able to arrive at Dr. Nauzaradan Hospital.
I'm in a lot of pain, and I could really use some pain medicine.
Steven is asking for pain medication, and his body language shows that he really wants it. So we are dealing with a very addictive and pathological personality here. Justin's social anxiety is very advanced. First of all, we got all the lab work back and everything look okay. He's looking us in us through the camera.
Steven's condition was so bad to the extent that his brother didn't want to be anywhere near him. Steven's condition had taken a toll on the entire family, and no one felt happy being around him. His behavior in the hospital was nothing short of disruptive and manipulative.
I need somebody in my room immediately. I have been waiting. I want this light off. It's ridiculous what I have to do to get people to respond around here.
We're starting to develop some issues with Steven. A lot of his pathological behavior started to come out. You're done here. Unless you have an emergency, you will not be admitted back.
Please, I want
To make things worse, Stephen had gotten addicted to pain medications. At any chance he got, he would lie, claiming that he was in so much pain when, in the actual sense, all he wanted were pain medications, and that just didn't sit right with Dr. Nozaradon. His situation just kept going from bad to worse. It's unbelievable.
Stephen is abusing the system to get painkillers. And that behavior is not acceptable. Because right now, his addiction to pain medication is going to kill him. Stephen, you're lying about everything you're doing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm suspending you from the weight loss program. And you're going from here to a drug addiction program.
Justin moved on with his life. For him, it felt like a dream coming true because he was finally able to open his dream store without having to worry about his brother. Back when they stayed together, Stephen would constantly bully and manipulate him into doing things he didn't want to do, and it was just awful.
I'm really excited today because we are finally opening up my hobby store.
This is a big deal for Justin. And with Stephen no longer here to bully Justin all day long, he's leaving his room more and he's made 2 good friends already.
A little bit of spray paint, you should be all golden.
Feels really good to start a career in a business like this. Since Stephen left, things have been better here. I don't really like him much because he's a big bully that just tortured me all day. So I'm happy with how things are.
After checking out of rehab, he went back to his default setting and kept calling the hospital emergency room so they could give him some pain medication. It was obvious he had made 0 progress with his pain medication addiction, and that only got Dr. Nozaradon upset. Stephen became the most dysfunctional patient Dr. Nozaradon had ever seen.
Stephen thinks he can come here and try to get some painkillers. Then I'm going to adjust his perspective on things. Your days of manipulating the system and getting painkillers are over. Get that to your head, because if you don't, you're going to end up either dead or in jail.
Finally, Stephen started to respond to treatment, and for a while, things started to look very promising. Justin saw how much progress his brother was making and was inspired to start his own weight loss journey.
Then when you come down here, I'm going to check your weight. Then hopefully when I see you, you'll be under 560, okay?
I've adjusted my diet a good bit. So I'm hoping I lost 60, 70 pounds. And I'm hoping that I get approved for my surgery.
You gained 43 pounds in past year.
Yeah.
Justin hasn't been honest with me or himself this past year about his eating habits.
I think it was a mistake for me to come down.
Stephen was making a lot of progress, and it was honestly very surprising considering how he started. He was doing it all by himself, as he had no one by his side while he tried to lose weight. But one thing was for sure, it wasn't so easy for him to push through without his pain medications.
Things happen in life we can't explain, I guess. Things just happen. I'm still working on getting my life together. And it's just so hard without painkillers, especially since I really don't have anyone to take care of me. But I've been learning to take care of myself, and I've gotten pretty good at it. And cleaning up helps me get a little exercise too. So right now, I'm just cleaning up a little and trying to make the place more relaxing.
After months of not speaking to Dr. Nozaradon, Justin finally decided to reach out and tell the doctor how much progress he had made while he was away. He was so focused on building his dream store that he felt there was no point coming into the hospital since he was already losing so much weight.
I'll have you come with me into the exam room. We'll get some vitals off you.
I thought as much as the weight I was supposed to lose to get to the goal he gave me. That amount of weight loss is good enough for me. I feel really good right now. I called Doctor Now to tell him my weight.
Call him if you have to call him.
Hello, Doctor Now.
Hi, Justin. How are you today?
I'm good today.
All right, so what's going on? Did you have your weight check and you go to clinic?
Yes, I did.
So what is your weight doing?
My weight is 432 right now.
Whose turn it was to reach out to Dr. Nozaradon. After 2 years of dropping out of the Dr. Nozaradon weight loss program, Stephen decided to talk to the doctor about the progress he had made and how he was coping with his medication addiction.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Steve, how you doing?
All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been about 2 years since I'm looking at your chart since I saw you. Last I saw you, 550 pounds. So how you doing?
I'm all right. I've regained a bit. I'm about in that area still, so.
So what is your weight now?
About what you said. It's about like 518.
Dr. Nozaradon advised Stephen that he wasn't going to force him to continue the program because it was pretty obvious he wasn't making so much progress all by himself. But if he ever wanted to resume the program, he was always welcome and would be received with open arms.
All right, Stephen, but if you plan to come back here, I already explained that to you. At this point, it's up to you to start turning things around and losing weight. You think you can do that?
I can certainly try, yes, yeah.
Is that your dad is still calling that pizza for you?
Yeah, sometimes he is, yeah. Most of the time.
And so things haven't changed with that, huh?
And as far as my brother, I haven't heard from him at all.
This wasn't the typical situation with people losing weight. Trust me, it wasn't just one person who was trying to lose a ton of weight, but the entire family. The Perio family altogether weighed over 1,000 pounds, and trust me, they needed to lose all that weight as soon as they could. Their journey began like this.
Hi, my name is Shauna Perio. I'm currently 783 pounds, maybe a little bit more.
My name is Brandy Perio. My weight is about between 600 and 650.
My name is Clarence Perio. I'm the oldest brother of Brandy and Shauna. I'm not quite as big as them, but I'm big, you know.
We've been to doctors over the years who told us there's nothing they can do to help us.
For them to get any form of surgery done, they were all instructed by the doctor to lose a certain amount of weight each. Without meeting their weight loss target, they were going to be rejected for surgery.
Which is 487 today.
I need to get below 465. Dr. now give me a goal under 600 pounds.
I want you all to meet Dr. Eder. He is going to assist me with your all's case.
Okay.
Brandy, I'm approving you today for weight loss surgery. But Rashonda, you gained half of the weight you lost. Today we are doing a gastric sleeve procedure on Brandy. All right?
After her surgery, Brandy was doing pretty okay and was able to maintain her current weight and not throw all her effort in the bin. Her sister, Rashonda, on the other hand, couldn't meet her target to get her surgery done.
Okay, Brandy, we are discharging you today. Hopefully, Brandy not eating much will influence Rashonda to eat less right now.
Well, I know we're going to be able to do this together. Our life depends on this. I should be at about 661 today. I should be down to at least 434 today.
I'm glad Brandy is staying on track, but I'm very concerned about Rashonda because she needs to start working through issues that are driving her to eat.
This time around, the entire family came to check on their weight loss progress at the hospital. Their brother Clarence had already lost enough weight to allow him to have his surgery, so without thinking twice, he had his surgery.
Clarence, you've been working hard on your own, so if you feel like you're ready, I'm approving you for weight loss surgery.
Thank you, sir.
Today we're performing a gastric sleeve on Clarence.
Clarence surgery went very well, so we will get him to recovery.
Their situation took a turn for the worst at their next doctor's appointment. Instead of meeting their targets and losing as much weight as they could, they all started to gain more weight, and it was even more difficult for Rashonda because she was the only one out of her siblings who hadn't done her surgery.
But unfortunately, it doesn't look like y'all's weight stayed on track. Because Brandy, you gained 24 pounds. And Clarence, you gained 10 pounds. And Rashonda, you gained 21 pounds. So all of you going back in the wrong direction.
Rashonda was devastated by the news that she didn't meet up with her target to get her surgery done. I mean, both of her siblings had done theirs, so what exactly was going on? She claimed her energy level was different, and it wasn't so easy for her to lose weight the way her siblings did.
I'm really glad to be getting my weight loss surgery, but I'm still really nervous because I know I'm high risk and that anything could happen. But I'm not letting that shake me.
You guys can step out.
Because I know without this, I don't have much of a chance to be around for my future. So I'm having faith this would be a new start that I needed.
Everyone had finally been able to move on from the surgery phase. Rashonda had a successful surgery, and she was on her way to healing just fine. With all three siblings happy and proud of how far they had come, they decided to have a little get-together to celebrate their progress with their loved ones.
To have some fun and enjoy more of the life we have now, where we can start to party and live again. So I'm really excited about that. I'm just a little nervous being in front of everyone and seeing me.
Nothing good really lasts forever, right? After celebrating with their family, their journey was about to stop. Physically, everything seemed great, and it loomed like they had made so much progress. But psychologically, that was a different ballgame.
Hey.
Hi, guys. Good.
Nice to meet
Clarence, I don't think we've met.
No, ma'am. Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you as well. So I'm hearing you say you've lost focus.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm trying to get back on it right now.
Okay. And Ro, what about you?
For the past couple of months, I've been stuck in a place where I just want to eat outside my diet. and mostly junk food. Like, I don't want to do it. It happens. Like, I say I'm not going to do it, and I still do it.
The therapy session turned into a total nightmare. The Perio family was able to get through the phase of having to get their surgeries done, but when it came to the emotional aspect of trying to connect as a family, they were just not there yet.
Clarence, have a seat, please. Let me say something. Let me say something. No. The goal of today's session was to assist the family with getting back on track. The Perios family has a significant amount of trauma and pathology, and Clarence has always been resistant.
They all decided to go solo in trying to lose weight. They felt being together wasn't going to help them achieve their goals, and they had to disconnect and try to figure out what worked best for them. They came this far. I bet they could even go further.
After therapy, we came back home and all took a beat to calm down and then talked about everything and what we want to do. Because I think we're all getting to a place where we're starting to see the road ahead in different ways now.
And just do it now on my own because I know I'm good where I'm at.
Oh, he did.
Recently, I've been getting more offers to perform my music around the state in places like Mississippi and Georgia, because I've been working hard to get myself out there.
Candy and Brandy were born on the same day and could very well die on the same day because they currently weigh over 1,000 pounds combined. The twins have gained that weight together through mutually harmful eating behaviors, but now they plan to lose it. But it isn't so easy, and chances are they will continue their slow trek towards death before they lose any of the weight.
I have an absolutely miserable life. We're getting so big, we can barely take care of each other. Everything's a burden. Makes me hate myself. I don't want to have to rely on anybody else. We know that it's getting close to our final days and we need to stop it before we get any worse. But it's hard to stop. It's an addiction.
Both siblings live with their mother, and to a large extent, you could say she is a contributing factor to their problem. She used to drink a lot, and for her, it felt like a coping mechanism to deal with the daily stress of life. But one thing she didn't frown at was the fact that her kids never said no to food.
I tried to stay a part of their lives, and they told me if I stopped drinking, they'd stop with the food. But I can't break my cycle, and they can't break theirs.
Grandma, hi, how are you?
I know you're afraid to go see Dr. Now because that means that you would have to live in Houston. And I'm here to help you emotionally and financially.
I love you.
I love you too.
Amazing.
After spending 3 days on the road, they finally made it to Dr. Nauseraden's hospital, where they had to check how much they weighed to determine if they were qualified to get their surgeries done. The doctor noticed that their issue was that whenever they felt any type of emotion, either happy or sad, their solution was always to eat. Sad.
Candy and Brandy hide and go to food together. Breaking a dynamic like this is hard. But as twins, this is going to be much harder to address.
We've been doing everything we can to follow the doctor's diet.
Just a little extra cheese here. I'm kind of a cheese person.
My sister and I have worked really hard this past month. We need this surgery more than anything.
That was impressive, but now they were faced with two separate problems. Candy was at risk of heart failure because her body was abnormally adding weight and she wasn't helping her condition because she was always eating. Brandy, on the other hand, had a different story.
Candy, your EKG was abnormal. If you continue not to lose weight, your heart failure is going to be imminent. Brandy, because of your lack of progress, I'm not approving you for surgery.
The twins knew what needed to be done. The question was, were they ready to do it? Well, the answer is yes. They took some time away from the hospital to try and see if they could meet the requirements for their surgeries. By the time they got back to the hospital, even they were shocked by how much weight they had lost over the last couple of months.
288.
I can't believe I'm below 300. That's awesome. I'm glad to see all that progress for Candy. Hopefully that means I did the same. I've been feeling a little run down and sick lately, so sticking to the diet hasn't been an issue. I was at 337 last time, so if I hit my goal, that means I should be at or below 277.
261.
That's incredible.
Dr. Nauseraden's assessment of them didn't go as well as they had hoped it would. Brandy was immediately cleared to proceed with getting the surgery done, but Brandy needed to lose an extra 30 pounds before surgery so she wouldn't have any complications while being operated on in the surgery room.
You have a bit more fat with your excess skin. So what would be the best is if you lose another 30 pounds before your surgery, and we do Brandy's surgery first. Okay? So Brandy, I'm approving you for your excess skin removal surgery today. And Candy, I want you to lose weight while your sister recovers. And if you do that, once she's healed, we'll do your surgery, okay?
Okay.
As they both prepare and spend some time with each other before the days of surgery, something unexpected happens to Brandy. She had always dreamed of wanting to live her life and go on dates with people, but she couldn't do any of that because of how she looked. And now the pregnancy bomb drops.
I took a pregnancy test, and Candy and I have been waiting to see what it says, and the test just showed a positive. So I'm pregnant.
It's positive. You already said it?
I don't know what to do, and I'm so scared right now. Obviously, that means I can't move ahead with my skin removal, and I don't know what it means for my weight loss, and if I'm going to be able to even stay on Dr. Now's program, so I'm really upset.
After having an emotional breakdown, they decided to visit Dr. Now Zaradan to discuss the new issue and determine if the surgery could still be done. They were so overwhelmed by the situation that their mother had to come with them to see the doctor. Brandy got another heartbreaking piece of news.
I'm pregnant.
You think you're pregnant, or are you sure you're pregnant?
I am.
Yeah, that's good reason not to have surgery. So this was unplanned pregnancy?
Very.
Are you happy about it? If the father knows about pregnancy, he is going to be involved in the process. Okay, you have a lot on your shoulders right now because there's a lot of unknown in the picture.
Candy went on to have his surgery, and it was a resounding success. 4 weeks in, and he was already looking like a totally different person. All he felt were the after effects of the surgery, but aside from that, he was good to go. He had to move to another state with his sister. He didn't want to leave her alone, especially with her new situation.
I haven't had any issues aside from the pain that's part of an operation like I had, and I'm getting used to having all the extra skin off my body because I don't think I've ever had one. But now that I'm just about recovered, I've decided to go back to Washington with Brandy. And we're starting the packing process now because we know it's going to take a while. We're planning on moving in 5 or 6 weeks or so.
Dr. Nowzaradan was happy with the progress the twins had made. He was willing to work with them, even after Brandy's pregnancy. He wished them well and couldn't wait to see them again. I guess if you put in the work, it eventually pays off.
Welcome back, and you're going to have to be prepared for it. So when you go back home, first thing you want to do is get a scale. Because both of you are small enough to use a normal scale now.
It's a good change.
But Candy, make sure that you're losing at least 2 pounds a week. And definitely that's going to be a goal for you. All right? I hope to see you both soon. And I'm proud of both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Good luck with the baby and send me a picture.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good trip.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Especially taking a toll on my legs because now I have arthritis in my kneecaps, so I can barely stand for 2 minutes max. And if I push myself beyond that...
Truth be told, I believe her. Looking at her size, it's not surprising that she feels like she's carrying 5 people. Jennifer can't stand for more than 2 minutes because she has arthritis. If she tries to stand for too long, her kneecaps might explode.
But if I didn't, I'm worried she'd end up staying in bed all day. And then she would just end up getting worse. So I don't really have a choice because I can't let that happen to her. But it's getting harder for me to take care of her.
That's honestly so sad. I hate that kids with parents who are so fat have to take on the responsibility of always being there for their parents. The annoying part of this case is that Marissa is also adding a lot of weight and starting to take in her mother's footsteps.
It's only gonna get worse because all I live for is eating.
What do you want me to make you for breakfast, Mama?
I think I want some eggs, some bacon, biscuits, and gravy, please.
Okie dokie.
Thanks. I know despite all the pain and struggle of my body.
It almost feels like Jennifer is bullying her daughter into being like this. I mean, Jennifer knows that her daughter is never going to tell her no. No child wants to disrespect or disobey their parents. But Jennifer soon needs to understand that Marissa is putting on a lot of weight too.
This isn't living. I don't even think it's surviving. I feel I'm slowly dying. I'm slowly killing myself. Food is what makes me happy. And at this point, I don't think I can stop. And neither can Marissa.
If she really feels bad that her eating habit is affecting her daughter, she should change rather than cry about it. Marissa eats so much because it's her only way of having to deal with the fact that she has to take care of her mother every single day.
Just excuse my stepdad's behavior and just nothing ever changed. So nobody did anything to save me and I had nowhere to turn. It was something that I could control and it never judged me. It never hurt me.
I'm sorry, but that's honestly hilarious. They had to lock up the kitchen and cabinets because she was eating so much? Wow. But can we really blame her? I mean, she was being molested by her stepdad and her mother never really did anything about it. Food was her only form of happiness.
By the time I had Marissa, and I was almost 300 pounds. And as crazy as it sounds, I was happy then. That I could be a way better mom than my mom. I just wanted to be better. But having Marissa didn't slow my weight gain.
Man, Having 2 kids before the age of 19 and already weighing 500 pounds is insane. You'd almost think it's impossible for something like that to happen. Well, Jennifer is a living testimony that it sure can happen. Her life has not been easy from the get-go, and that's really sad.
It was hard having so many restrictions at my grandma's house. It made me feel really bad about myself that somebody had to lock cabinets or lock a refrigerator just so I wouldn't eat. But it never stopped me from gaining.
Marissa and her mom have honestly been through a lot. Marissa just says that while struggling to find a safe space with her mother, she met a guy who raped her, and it made her depressed. You really can't blame these guys for seeing food as their happy place. But still, that doesn't excuse the fact that they're so fat.
So I moved in with her and Dwayne because I couldn't just let her become bedridden, and there was no one else to do it. I'm frustrated that nobody helps me. It's been a long time that And I'm frustrated that I feel like I'm almost 500 pounds now and it's her fault.
At least we know that Marissa feels so much resentment towards her mother. She blames her mom for everything, and the fact that she still is not doing anything to make their situation any better.
Got a thigh and a piece of breast. I think if me and my daughter don't change, she'll be married me and my boyfriend will be married her next.
Marissa, can I have more butter, please?
Butter?
That just sounds like an excuse. Jennifer knows that their eating habit is not healthy for them, but at the same time says that it's not easy to change. It might not be easy, but it's the only thing that's going to keep her and her daughter alive.
But I'm scared right now about how this is gonna go. It's a big trip. Like, we have to fly. I've never flown before. I'm so nervous.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Marissa and her mom finally decide to travel down to Houston, where they're going to see Dr. Now. The only problem now is that Marissa is worried that her mom is not going to be able to make the trip because of her size. I mean, she can't even stand for 5 minutes. A trip that long is going to take a toll on her body.
And food is the only thing that really does.
I don't know if I can stand up. I know this has been really scary for my mom.
At least that's done and dusted. They finally make it to Houston, and Marissa still has her mom safe and intact. I can't believe her mom thought the plan wouldn't take off because she was on it. Hilarious. Oh well, let's see what she weighs at the hospital.
That's higher than I was hoping. At the same time, it's not a huge shock.
I'm definitely not happy about it.
I hope this goes well.
Jeez, that's a lot. Combined, they both weigh over 1,000 pounds. My goodness. It's good that they know that their weight is outrageous. Hopefully that's going to give them enough motivation to lose weight. First, let's hear what Dr. Now has to say.
One small thing can push your bodies over the edge. So it is extremely important that you both do this now. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you both a 1,200 calorie, high protein, low carb diet.
That sounds like a pretty decent target for the both of them. Dr. Now wants both mother and daughter to lose 60 pounds within the next 2 months. It might sound easy to their eyes, but we all know losing weight is not as easy as it sounds.
What discourages me is my own self, my own insecurities, and then how people treat me when I'm outside. They're not always very nice, so it makes you not want to go out and do what you need to do.
I love Marissa. She's not letting her mom stop them from doing what they have to do. Jennifer feels like it's too soon to start exercising. She feels like people would look at her and judge her size. What's worse, getting judged and meeting the target or not doing anything and ending up dead? Move that body, Jennifer.
We're here at Dr. Now's for a second weigh-in, and I'm so anxious to see if I lost the 60 pounds I was supposed to.
Yay. Nice.
Did it. Are you excited?
Yeah, good job.
That feels amazing. I don't think I've ever lost that much in a month. I just hope Marissa met the goal too.
That's surprising. Jennifer seems to have lost more weight than her daughter, who was pushing her to take their exercises more seriously. Is Dr. Now going to approve both of them for weight loss surgery? Let's see.
Did you change your eating habit much at all?
Yeah, I've changed a lot. Just once in a while, I'll eat stuff that I'm not supposed to eat. But for the most part, I eat the same stuff that she eats. And I've been going to the gym 4 times a week.
Aha! Dr. Now is not holding back with his scolding, but then again, he is right. Marissa should be losing much more weight than her mother given the fact that she's much younger and can burn food more quickly. She needs to sit up.
Jennifer and Marissa?
Marissa and I are in this together, and I have to hit 533 at least. So I really hope I met the goal and then I get approved today. Dr. Now gave me a goal, and I hit it exactly.
It does feel amazing to hit the weight loss target. After so much back and forth, Jennifer and Marissa finally meet their required weight goal. Seems like they are going to be getting their weight loss surgery after all.
But I know my mom just went through this. And if my mom can do it, I can do it.
Right now, we're about to perform a gastric sleeve on Marissa. We just completed the same operation on her mother.
Tammy Lynn hates her body so much. She asks herself every day how she allowed herself to get so fat. She's 45 years old, and she weighs almost 600 pounds. She hopes that Dr. Now is going to help her get her body back on track. Her weight loss journey starts like this.
And it is putting intense pressure on the rest of my body. My belly is sagging more and more, and it feels like I'm always off balance. Living in my body, it's miserable. Every day, little things are such an issue.
That has to be a very depressing thing to wake up to. Imagine waking up and your stomach is almost touching the floor. Wow, I would honestly ask God to have me recreated if I were to be in her shoes. I'm surprised she can even stand up from the bed.
I'll wash what I can reach.
Dave, can you come here and help me, please?
Yeah. And then my husband will help me with things I can't reach. Anything below my stomach, I have to have help with. I can't reach nothing down there.
It's a really sad reality, if we're being honest. At least she has a husband who bathes her and does everything for her. Him not being in her life or around to help her would have been hell on earth for Tammy Lynn. How'd she even allow herself to get this fat?
And it was like, I lost my mom too. So I'm this little kid at home with nobody to really take care of me. I could just eat whatever I wanted, when I wanted. And it was my friend. It was my parent, my loved one. When I was about 10, I was the one that did all the shopping for my mom and...
That clearly explains a lot. When Tammy Lynn was young, her dad passed away as a result of a heart attack. This led to her mom completely shutting down. That also led to Tammy Lynn taking care of herself. Good became her best friend, and since no one was monitoring her, she ate as much as she wanted to.
But that didn't last long. James and I started fighting a lot.
When we were younger, I didn't know that I had a problem with bipolar, and that really did a number on our relationship.
Absolutely tear anyone apart. Having the person you love and call your safe space call you all those names? I would crash out every day. One would wonder if he even loves her because calling her names like that is just insane.
And by the time I was 25, I was over 300 pounds, and I didn't feel good about myself, and I was devastated. I felt guilty.
Aha! I guess that answers that question. Tammy Lynn says that she eventually found out that her husband cheated on her with a close friend, and it tore her apart. Life right from the get-go has not been kind to Tammy Lynn.
My mom was the most important person in my life. I wouldn't be myself at all without her.
I think that's it for right now. If I need anything, I'll let you know. I feel guilty. I feel bad because this is not how things are supposed to be.
Hold on one sec. Is all that food gonna go into her stomach? Jeez. And she's surprised that her stomach is almost touching the floor anytime she sits up. What's worse is that she's eating so much junk food. She can't deny the fact that all that is bad for her health.
When I first start eating, it's like the best thing in the world. It's like when you've won the lottery. It's just the greatest thing. It makes me feel so good about everything at that moment. But I know I eat at least 4 or 5 times more than I should.
If she doesn't want her son following in her footsteps, she should know better than to allow him to eat what she's eating. Better still, she should even stop eating all that junk food and find some healthier food to consume.
If I get to Houston and Dr. Now won't take me on as a patient, it'll be devastating because I feel like he's my last option.
Tammy's health and well-being is at stake right now. If she goes down there and the doctor don't approve her.
Well, at least she's deciding to change her ways. Tammy Lynn has decided to make the bold move of going all the way to Houston to see Dr. Now. Her life has been a series of roller coasters, and she's finally ready to take charge of her life.
You gonna be okay?
Here.
Do I need to call an ambulance? Huh?
No, I just gotta catch my breath.
You don't feel like you're gonna pass out?
Not yet.
Well, you let me know, you hear me?
Phew! For a second here, I honestly thought she was not going to fit into the car. Thankfully, she did. It's going to be a long drive down to Houston. Hopefully her body doesn't give up on her before she makes it to the hospital.
So we have a lot of issues to address with Tammy that we need to turn around immediately. So Tammy, you are diabetic?
Yes.
And you have high blood pressure?
Yes.
And you have COPD?
The doc has made his decision. He needs Tammy Lynn to lose 40 pounds within the next month. He emphasizes the fact that it's going to be a joint effort and both her husband and son have to help her through the process. Let's hope she can meet the target.
It's hard enough worrying about Zachary, but having to worry about them both is too much for me to handle.
Zachary? What? Your dinner's in here. It's on the counter in there. Don't have an attitude, and I mean it.
I hope this is not going to make Tammy Lynn fall back to her old eating habits. For some reason, her husband has chosen to be very distant and refuses to be part of her weight loss journey. Could he be cheating on her again?
Around a little more. I need you to just be a little more supportive. Yeah, you take me to the store and, but I need you to be emotionally supportive on a lot of things. I understand that you have your life and you're busy and you're out doing your thing and everything.
My goodness, he did not just speak to her in that manner. From the look of things, it doesn't seem like her husband is invested in her weight loss journey anymore. At this point, Tammy Lynn has to rely on herself. That man doesn't sound like he cares one bit.
But I know no matter what, I have to do this. So I've stuck with it and worked as hard as I can. And I really hope that I've made the progress I need today and that I'm going to hit the doctor's goal. I was supposed to lose 40 pounds this past month.
Yay! She met the target weight. That's really good. Given the fact that her husband has not been supportive and she has had to do it all on her own, she still made the cut. Let's see if the doc is going to be happy with her new weight.
And while you're doing that, I want you to stick with the diet and lose even more weight. Because the more weight you lose, the less strain there'll be on your lung.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to...
Seems like the doc is happy about her progress. He approves her for weight loss surgery, but first he wants her to move down to Houston and also see if she can lose some more weight. At this point, I don't have a doubt. She definitely can do it.
Take you down to Texas, you and Jacky. I'll move you guys down there. I promise you, from here, right here and now, I will be there so you could do this.
And I can believe that?
You're gonna have to believe it because I'm not going nowhere. I'll be there with you, I promise you.
Let's just say he has made his stance and set his mind. Her husband says that he is no longer in love with her anymore, and all he wants is for her to get better for herself. I hate to say it. I did see this coming.
The whole point of being here was to support me through this process. This moment means everything to me, and James is sitting in the car.
Tammy Morrell?
I have been trying so hard to lose weight. I was 549 last time.
Man, the smile on her face is priceless. It's as if she's amazed at the fact that she's actually losing weight. If you ask me, I'd say that she really doesn't need her husband as her backbone. She can do it all by herself.
You've had these difficult emotions, you've gone to food, or when you've had major crises in your life, James has been there for you. And these two relationships are off the table. Let go of the toxic relationships.
Yeah. Which it'll be good, though.
I'm pretty sure you're also happy with how much progress she's making. Dr. Now was not happy about her home situation, so she advised that she go see a therapist, and so far, that seems to be working out pretty well.
Y'all have a good day. So I see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tammy has done a great job staying on the diet despite all her setbacks and delays she has faced.
Seems like she finally got what she wanted. All her effort and energy haven't been in vain. Dr. Now approves her for surgery, and she is the happiest woman in the world right now. Looks like putting in the work did pay off.
Tammy's surgery went very well. We were able to do some gastrectomy on her, and that was a little bit challenging because of her weight and difficulty in maneuver instrument inside of her abdomen.
Sadly, Shawn died a few years after appearing on the show, but his inspiring story of overcoming his eating demons will inspire anyone. When he first came on the show, he weighed an incredible 900 pounds, which makes him one of the heaviest men to have ever lived. It also made his morning routine hell on earth. As you can see, his story starts off like this.
Can't do all now is scooch to the edge of my bed, go to the bathroom, and see if my mom's awake. I can get up, but I can only walk a few steps. So I just stay here in this bed no matter what.
For a mother to have to bathe, feed, and clothe her child at that age is depressing, but she has to because Shawn has no help from anyone. Shawn is so big that cleaning him alone is a very huge chore. It is also a really disgusting chore.
Problem is they can get worse really easy. So every day we have to take care of them, and it is a painful process.
Ready, babe? Hang on, I gotta get my shoulder into this. Okay.
It is so bad that he cannot even go to the restroom properly, and his mom and her helper have to clean his backside for him.
I'm starting to shake, Mom.
Okay, we're almost done. 2 seconds, okay. Let me get this corner down. All right, you should be good, honey. There you go. Okay, good job. Okay.
It is clear that Shawn wants out of this condition, but does he want out enough to abandon the one thing that is contributing the most to his weight gain? Does he want out enough to abandon food?
I keep snacks under my covers just to make sure I have something nearby when I want to eat. Hey, Mom, I'm probably going to need a little snack.
Shawn has no appetite control. He's hungry incessantly.
So Shawn cannot control his appetite and lives with his mother, who enables him. but at least he has the strength to go and see Dr. Now and find out if he can get weight loss surgery. However, Dr. Now, as anyone would expect, is not so pleased with the situation at home.
You don't want to go any further, I will examine you here.
I've had to do more in the last 20, 15 minutes I've had to in a while. Extremely.
Shawn is throwing a little tantrum because he's a...
Dr. Now already knows Shawn's problems. He says that Shawn is probably eating up to 20,000 calories a day, and his mother is the one bringing him all that food. And while Shawn is in the wheelchair, he has an accident. And this means exactly what you think it means.
Shawn is used to his mother completely taking care of him. As long as she does everything for him, Shawn has no reason to leave, and she controls him with the food.
So how will his home situation change? Dr. Now asks him to lose 100 pounds by their next meeting, and Shawn says he will do his best to do that. But his best is clearly not enough.
Shawn is so big right now, he cannot make it to the waiting room door. He's worse off now, and he looked like he maybe put another 50 to 100 pounds on. Yeah, your edema is getting much worse.
His case is truly pathetic. Dr. Now knows that his case is extremely bad, so he takes matters into his own hands by admitting him into the hospital immediately. In the hospital, it was easy to control his diet, and after 2 months, he has lost a lot of weight.
When Shawn arrived here, we were able to weigh him, and he was 1,003 pounds. But we started him on 800 calorie a day controlled diet, and he started losing weight rapidly. 744.
But do they make those changes they say they want? Dr. Now wants him to lose 100 pounds within a month, but does that work? Well, the next time he comes to the hospital, he is complaining about some chest pain. Dr. Now thinks something is fishy.
Shawn came to the hospital claiming he was having chest pain and worried he was having heart attack. I suspect that he was making it up to try to get out of his physical therapy and his diet plan, and I think I'm right about that.
Wow, that is so manipulative of Shawn. Dr. Now gives Shawn an ultimatum of 2 months and says he should not come back if he has not lost 150 pounds in those 2 months. Will Shawn do it? Well, your mind will be blown by what actually happened.
636, cutting it close, but you did it. So we're going to approve you for surgery.
Thank you. It's been a hard journey, but it's well worth it.
I'm proud of you. I'll see you later. Okay? All right.
Penny gained even more weight after she had weight loss surgery, and no one can figure out how that even happened. She started off wanting to get the surgery to lose weight, but in a strange way, it made her even fatter. Here is how Penny's life looked before she even got the surgery at all. Here is how her weight loss story starts.
Sometimes it feels like I'm dead. I cannot do the things that normal people take for granted, like walking to the bathroom. This is my bed, this is my bathroom, this is my dinner table.
But prisoners in jail do not get the sort of meals that Penny gets. She might feel horrible 70% of the time, but whenever she has a feast in front of her, Penny starts to glow. It is food addiction at its worst, and it is ruining her life.
Hey Ed, I need a paper towel. I started out just like anyone else, and every time I had a problem, it's 1 pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, and I just kept going.
The good thing is that Penny recognizes that she has got a problem. The next step is to find a solution to that problem, and that starts in Houston, Texas, where she has to meet Dr. Now. Let's see what Dr. Now has to say about her weight problem.
He is very large, but to know her situation, I need to examine her and see how much she weighs. We're gonna check your weight now, okay?
This is the largest fish in the market.
Okay. A normal body mass index is about 20.
Gosh, so she is super duper morbidly obese. Dr. Now runs his tests, and his final verdict is damning. He doesn't just think Penny has physical problems that have to do with her weight, he also thinks she has mental issues that may be hindering her from losing that weight.
Got a lot of issues. Some of them are real, some of them are imaginary. She seems like she played a role of being a victim and encouraging family to be enabler.
Very difficult to break indeed. He puts Penny under a strict diet and asks her to lose 25 pounds. He says if she can do that, then she will be ready for weight loss surgery. But does it work? Well, yes. Penny does lose 40 pounds.
So, how are you feeling?
I definitely can feel the difference when I start losing weight. So I don't even have the roll that I normally punch my insulin into.
So you're missing your roll?
I'm absolutely missing a roll.
But she did this while in the hospital and under a strict diet. So, while it is impressive, there is no guarantee that she will be able to keep up after the surgery. The surgery goes well, but Penny is having some issues with recovery.
The operation we're going to do today is called sleeve gastrectomy. simply just reduces the size of stomach and help her eat less.
So do you have any plan to walk? No?
And that is precisely what happened. She was absolutely not able to maintain her weight loss, which meant that the entire surgery was a waste of everyone's time. Of course, Dr. Now is extraordinarily mad at this turn of events.
No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
I'm very concerned about Penny's behavior. She's not losing weight and she's being given the right diet. There's no reason why she shouldn't lose more weight.
Now, did Penny change? She never changed. Dr. Now believes she has now convinced herself that she is permanently disabled, and as a result, he will not be able to help her. The 4th month rolls around and Dr. Now decides to send her home because she has not complied with his treatment. The project is over for her, and she has failed to make the changes she needs to live a healthy life.
Penny is going to have to make some changes when she goes home. If she has any chance to succeed, she needs to be mobile.
I'm going to lose the weight. It's over and done.